On the airwaves we say. On the airwaves we sail, with stories we prevail. The history of pirates, our anchors never fail. Mysteries unfold, treasure maps of gold, voices of the buccaneer and stories so bold. Every ship and crew will tell their tales true, from the silent shadows to the sky so blue.
Make sure your treasure is buried, your parrot fed, and the rum is poured. It's time to set sail on another Patches and Rum podcast, exclusively for members of the History of Pirates channel.
I had a little hiccup with the first clip, but I slowly recovered. And now we're here together. I saw Wicked laughing in the background. Cheers with my Bucky's.
Hey,
I've got a pink cup.
Man, we
it's
gotta
okay.
get some big old things going. I don't know. So here we are.
Hello.
Welcome, everyone.
Back
We made
again. We made it. I know it's weird. It's a different day, but we're still here. That's it. Before we even begin, Spider Unlimited with 10
Hey.
gifted memberships, which basically means more people for the crew. Hold on. I had a great there.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
10
to work.
souls for the ship. Woo! Also, Greg the Goblin for 10 says, Tua who? Teuta? Who?
Teuta.
Wicked is the only true pirate queen.
Thanks, Greg. Greg knows what to say.
You kind of look like her.
Maybe she's my.
She was around that
Ancestor.
Italian area, you know?
Yeah, that's right in the Adriatic.
So,
Makes sense.
there you
Part
go.
of my lore now.
There you go.
My man Knee Pain says, I got 5 souls for you, Commodore.
Knee.
Woo!
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
How many
I
is
was
that?
like knee pain.
15.
What are we riding with 15?
The
Sloop.
dock.
The dock, yeah.
The dinghy. We're all
Yeah.
on a bunch of rowboats, just hoping for the best.
Pull over. We're robbing you.
Also, you know the drill. We haven't released the official brand new trailer, but if we get over 100 souls, we'll let you guys see it one more time before it's uploaded in
Yes.
August. So, we're only how many away, Captain, from 100 souls?
85.
That's
A
why he's
mere
here.
85.
Hey, yo,
Poultry.
math. Math is not our strong suit. Before we begin, I want to show you something that I thought was like, it's probably nothing, but I thought it was every time I see like these big ships and the things that happen on these big ships, it's kind of scary. Now, I don't know how this would apply to a pirate ship or anything like that because they just used a lot of rope. But still, this is a pretty I feel like this could kill you if you got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time when the anchor went down.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Ouch.
Releasing a ship's anchor.
That is so scary.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, and you'd have
Cool
trouble
looking, though.
lifting up one of those links. Yeah,
I'm sure. Like he ran
That's why
for
he,
it.
ran.
Like,
He was like, nope.
now a pirate ship would probably have something more along the rope line.
they
like
have
these.
they usually carried something like 5 different anchors.
Really?
Yeah, they would keep 5 different anchors on the ship, one for the left, one for the right, one for the front, one for the back, and then usually a big main anchor. And I think big main anchors, depending on the time frame, still would have had a chain.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like one of the most crazy things I've ever seen. And obviously, it's not like Sea of Thieves where you just crank it back up. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
They had on the Victory, they had these huge capstans down on the decks, and they would pull the pegs out, and then when it was time, they would put these big like 8-foot poles in, and you'd get like 5 or 6 dudes per pole, and there were 15 poles all the way around this thing, and they'd be down underneath the deck spinning this huge thing, raising up the anchor. It's pretty cool.
Maybe you still get. I wonder how many men have like died on that. You know, just
I'm sure we could
like
get a
it get
number.
caught in the anchor and stuff. And like, what do they just like keep it moving? You know?
I don't know. I mean, people have gotten their leg caught in that stuff. I imagine it happened more than once, but your leg's getting ripped off for sure.
Oh yeah, it's gone. It's sort of what happened to Carl Brashear in the 60s or 70s, the first black Navy diver.
Yes, Men of Honor.
He died.
No,
Yeah, he made it.
he had his like his right leg just shorn off
Yeah,
from this this rope they were using to bring up a nuke that was lost at sea. They the rope snapped, or the thing holding the rope snapped, I think, and it tore off and snapped his leg off.
Yep, clean off.
This is also that's God. A little
Yeah.
help here. A little help. Legs missing.
Oh,
Just makes you more of a pirate. That's all.
Also, this post has been floating around. The only 2 authentic pirate flags known to exist. Now, the other one that they didn't have pictured here is actually in the museum in St. Augustine.
I've seen
Yeah.
it.
So they in the museum in St. Augustine, they said, I believe there's only 4 pirate flags left in existence that people could still see, because technically when a pirate was caught, the rumor is, and what we've read is that they just burned them.
Yeah,
Like that was kind of like the pirate got hung, men got hung. They took anything that resembled them and they wanted to erase them from history, because if they could erase their legacy, then they wouldn't have copycats or something. And like, hey, if you're a pirate, this is what happens to you. That's why they hung them out to dry for everyone to see their death. So kind of fascinating that's what it looks like, you know, coming after you.
isn't the other one in St. Augustine Blackbeards?
No, they don't know.
Oh, okay.
But it looks just like this black one here. It looks
Yeah.
pretty similar to that one,
Sketchy.
but not as I mean, like when you see it up close, I can't wait for you guys to see it. When you see it up close, it is just, it's like scary, kind of like how it was made and everything, and how they have it displayed in like this dark light, and who knows
Our
what
flag
ship it was
means
on and
death.
stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty impressive that's what they flew up, because I guess a lot of the times the majority of pirates just flew straight black flags
Mhm.
or red ones.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
before they got
that's-
fancy, right?
What's kind of funny is, you look to the one on the right, and you think about any other flag that would have been flying at the time, the Union Jack, things like that. and it's quite clearly just like strips of cloth sewed together. But how do you do that? Do you just go find someone that'll cut out white strips of cloth in the form of bones and then just sew it onto the black cloth?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know if
I
that's
can't
sewn
imagine
in or
there's a lot
embroidered
of-
or what.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's a lot of shops out there making skulls.
Right.
The one in the museum looked like it was stitched in a black
Yeah.
cloth. So they had to, like, flying your colors was very important way of communication back then for a lot of different things. So
That one on the left is so cool, dude.
The red one?
Yeah, I like the red
it's So
one.
cool. It's just different, you know. It's rare that you see it truly resting upon the cross like that.
Looks cool.
I love it.
I'd be crapping my pants, dude.
I would be too. You wonder why most people just quit, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
you surrender. Jake, remember says, I don't care about the trailer. I want the book. Coming
Yeah.
soon, my friend.
Fair point.
We
Coming
do too.
soon. And Giles McCoy also gifted 2.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
A lot of people complimenting Wicked in the chat. I see. That's
I
why she's
think-
here.
I think it's probably Giles.
Nobody ever calls me pretty.
Yeah. Even on Twitter, people are saying, hi,
Hi.
Wicked. You know,
What's up, Dan?
Dan.
kind of crazy. We've got people over on Facebook. Thank you for joining us. We got our first super chat on Facebook given by Lulu Blue. Thank you.
Ooh, shout
Sent
out,
the
Lulu.
Stars over there on Facebook. Doesn't say anything, but you know, anytime she says something, we usually highlight it anyway.
Yeah.
Look at what about the rest of us, man? It takes X-Wing a lot, the Commodore a lot more to get dressed. I'm
Come on.
working on my deluxe pirate costume here.
Yeah.
You know,
Sorry.
I did makeup, you know.
that's it.
I didn't
Not
actually do
wearing
makeup.
pants. That's all I'm saying. All right, there we go. X-Wing, you're pretty. Okay,
Let's go.
you look
Thank you,
okay.
Dylan.
Nothing for the captain. He's working on it.
Yeah.
He's a judge in real life. We don't want to bother. You know, we don't want to get on his bad side. He has no idea we're talking about him.
Busy counting.
He's just hanging out. Before we get into this special queen, this pirate queen, she was actually queen of the land. We're doing something a little different. She goes after the heart of the world, man. This queen says, screw you, Rome. You might be the biggest, baddest power of all the land, but I'm going to commandeer pirates to steal and rob from all of you in Greek. It's a fantastic story. And every time I read a pirate story like this, even the one that we did last time about the Canadian pirate, I'm like, my gosh, Hollywood, here's your movie
Mhm.
right here. You ain't
it's
got to
so-
change anything. Here's
It's
your movie.
so-
Do it. Done. It's
So
finished.
easy. Yeah. It's crazy too when you think about like these women, like even Anne Bonny, everyone we've covered already, but this was like way before that. And this girl, like queen, is just running ships and fleets and ruling, and it's just crazy to see because then you think of like the 1960s and stuff when just housewives, but then you got this like how many years before, just I don't know.
Yeah, but if you were looking for a girl boss, like you don't
Yeah.
have to Hollywood this up at all, bro. Just tell the story as it is, and you've got a full blown boss bee.
Yeah.
I mean,
baddie.
yeah, there's no need a race swap, no need to gender
Nope.
swap, no need to do anything. You know, my gosh, man, even on Facebook, I would,
Mhm.
Hi, Greg.
yeah. There you go.
We'd have no viewers if Wicked wasn't here. You know, what
I
mean?
know. That's why
Yeah.
I pay her the big bucks. I can't list is yo ho ho. Why?
And
thank
about
you.
love,
We're
rum.
getting paid.
Yeah,
The
who's
females
I'm
are,
not getting
not the
paid.
males.
Oh.
But again, before we begin, I want to shout out something that was very cool, and we want to throw this out to everyone just to see their thoughts and maybe something in the near future, early next year, or maybe even later. I actually made a trip to Daytona Beach, about 50 minutes from my home. And I did not know there was a 9-line apparel store Like, it was news to me. They never told me, of course. And I walked in, and what was hanging on the shelf was a Vindicta shirt. And they said that they had 5 in the store and they sold 4. I put it on this rack just for so I could take a picture. I almost bought it just because I was like, it's just so cool to
Sell
see.
them out.
I know, it's just so cool to see in the store.
Yeah. In the wild, man.
And then over by the hat section, we got a Vindicta hat that they put up on display other than their other hats. And they said, yeah, I think they had 3, and this was the last one. They said this one might not sell because you can see it got crushed on the box. You can see like a little line here.
Yeah, a little seam. Yeah.
So they stuck it up there, and but it was freaking awesome to see this in the 9-line store at Daytona. So I asked them, that's what it looks like there. I asked them, I said, what are the chances of like I was like, this, I began to explain to the manager that was there, and she goes, I know who you are. I've seen you on the Instagram because I've done 2 commercials for freaking 9line that they put on their Instagram account. So I was like, yeah, I did the Jaws shirt that seemed to do really well. And I said, this is my shirt. And I also have the Rebellion shirt. And she goes, I got 2 of those. I was like, oh, that's cool. And she goes, we need to get those out here. And I said, listen, I don't live far. What are the chances if we do like a book signing? I bring my crew out here. I'll promote it for like a month. I have a table set up. We could put a lot of Vindicta merch into the store, maybe some other things as well, and just see how it goes. And they immediately called the head office. They put me on the phone. A guy named Mark, who's like VP CEO. He knows me. So he's like, Jay, what are you doing out there, man? I'm like, I don't live that far. I was like, listen, man, it'll be a win-win. There's a Twin Peaks restaurant right next door.
I actually like Twin Peaks. The food's good there.
Never been to one.
They have good mojitos and turkey.
Yeah, there's one like 5 minutes from me.
Is Jay still bragging? Yes, I am. And
so you're saying pirate merch, book signing, wenches, rum, all on a beach in Florida.
Right by Daytona Beach. And the biggest thing of all, it's right next to a Buc-ee's. It's like, it's a
That's
win.
the selling point. I love it.
It's a freaking win-win. And there's a 511 store there too for all you gun
What's
enthusiasts.
that? Oh, 511 Tactical? Ooh, yeah.
So you got 9-line, 511, Twin Peaks, Barnes and
Buc-ee's
Nobles.
paradise
There's a
on
Barnes
Earth.
and Nobles. And then there's Buc-ee's where you can get all your gas. So I'm just saying, if there's enough people interested, if you guys would make the drive or wanted to come hang out in Daytona, or if you're in the area, please let me know. Because I think what the plan is when we launch the book, hopefully in September, they'll be ready by December. And then the next year, me and X-Wing, as many people as possible that are going to be dressed up, we will be heading out at different places to do like book signings and sales and stuff. And if they're going to offer it to us for free, I think that would be pretty awesome. So I think that'd be pretty awesome. I know all my Florida people will come. I'm sure we can get wicked there, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Whatever sells.
Any reason to put on my pirate costume.
There it is.
Yeah,
I'm sure. So that'll probably sell. I already talked to like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. He's like, G&G would bring the crew out. We'd have a great time just for a few hours, like sign some books, sell some shirts, go eat like the Commodore said, hang out at Buc-ee's, and then head home. Hopefully by then the Commodore is safe and secure in Florida. Fingers crossed. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, anyway, you guys just got to let us know. Just let us know. That'd be great. Now, one person said awesome, that would be a great time, but
Woo! Well, that's 2. Count me in.
There you go.
I want to be there.
So me, Commodore, Wicked. Sounds Beardo, Krista, Jeremy. I don't think I can get Ryan out of his house, but maybe. Yeah. Dangling the carrots here. Kings, I don't know if he make the drive.
Well, just schedule it for the 24th of January, and I'll be there.
Oddly specific.
I know I was going to say that.
I'm
Very
already,
Oddly
planning, I'm already planning on being in Daytona on the 24th.
So now we got to do everything
We'll just
that you
schedule
wanna do.
everything around Kings. Okay.
Hi, Patches and Rum, Blue Shell member message. Thank you. So, why would you bring Beardo and Jeremy? Because they'll buy a shirt. That's all. We got to look good. We got to look good. That's all. Maybe they'll send us to all the 9line stores all across America, and that would be our little tour. That would be awesome.
Ooh.
Clyde says, are the swords almost ready?
Not even remotely close. No.
Way to sell it.
Yeah.
But
They will be. Don't worry.
Be the king.
Halfway.
It's good to be the king. King's advisors, that's for sure. But today on History of Pirates, we're going to introduce you to someone you probably have never heard of before.
Which is insane because.
And look at that angry face of a woman. That's the face you don't want to see if you're a man and you you walk up to a woman. You don't want to see that face.
I'm into Teuta of ILlyria.
He's like, I don't know. I'd walk up to her.
Yeah, I'm the first one to walk up and get my head cut off. Like, hey.
That's right. Look at that. Sarah says, ahoy, chat. Wicked, you're so pretty.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you.
Thanks.
pretty too.
Yeah. Clyde for 5. Thank you. That gives us a total of, sir.
30.
30 souls for the Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
30 souls. I think we're in our sloop now, right?
We've got enough for a sleep
I think
at this
so.
point, guy.
Yeah. I think we're good. Thank you for that 120 people. I know that everybody else is live, but thank you for being here. It's the real ones.
I'm
how
not
do you
kidding.
say
That might
this?
be your great-great-great-grandma.
Yeah, it looks like Wicked, doesn't it?
Yeah. Similar bone structure. I'm saying that's your
If
grandma.
I look mad, do I look like her?
Yeah, let's make it.
Yeah.
Mad.
Make an angry face. You got to make a Megatron kind of face.
Don't make that noise. I can't make a
All right.
noise that you're doing.
Queen Teuta of ILlyria.
There, I do look like her.
I think so. Cosplay idea for Wicked. Well, in this article here, they have like a picture of what she possibly could have looked like when she attacked Rome.
Look at that
I like how
sword.
this goes. This is a bit of a dramatization, but you get the
I
idea.
read this article. They swear and stuff in this, so be careful. This article.
Yeah, this guy who writes these history articles is funny.
Mhm.
Badass of the week. He uses like F slurs and F bombs. He's like, she told the Romans to go F themselves and then went out in a blaze of glory, hurling herself off a mountain. Yeah, I mean, it's like this article is great. So, Queen of Teuta of
ILlyria.
ILlyria.
yes. that's
Didn't you do like Rome history?
I know, but I
You're like, that was 400 miles the other way.
I
Never seen
studied you know what my studies were in Rome? The aqueduct systems of the cities. Very boring.
The
but very-
lead-lined aqueduct system.
Very fascinating on how we
So-
did hot and cold water in the city.
Who's ready for a fascinating history lesson?
Let's go.
So
Before you get in there, Johnny gave 5 gifted memberships
Yeah,
to the
let's go,
channel.
Take what you can. Give nothing back.
35 souls, only 65 away from our goal. Now, everybody, settle down, gather around the fire, get
Gather
your
around.
pitcher of rum, because the captain is about to tell us a tale of long ago. Ready for me to share your screen whenever
Yes.
you say.
So this is
Sorry.
this is a map of the entire history of the Roman Empire. So what we want to focus on is the Italian boot. So right up until this number,
Basically, number 14.
No.
Nope.
2 and 7.
2 and 3.
No, she was in
2 and
14.
3.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll just let Kings talk. Sorry about that.
So number 1, 2, 3, 4 is Rome during this period of time.
Right, but she's from 7.
Yes, she's from
ILlyria.
7. Yeah, she's from 7 or 5. It really kind of depends on just exactly where on the map ILlyria is, because the entire Illyrian Empire would have been 7. A little bit of this orange one. 15.
Yeah, they just called everybody Illyrians, but there were like something like 27 city-states or something like that in Illyria. Yeah.
So the First Punic War has ended, which is the series of 3 wars between Rome and Carthage. And Rome is in no shape ready for another fight. They're like, you know what? We just sent Carthage packing. We're done with war for now. And true to form, in order to get involved in this, they have to be invited. Throughout all of the 1,500 years of Roman history, when Rome gained territory, it was always because they were invited to come help someone in that area. Now, they have basically taken over the entire Italian boot, a little bit of Sicily. And suddenly this Illyrian king pops up, and he just starts like saying, okay, you know what? Rome's too powerful. You warring tribe over there, you need to come work with us. You need to come work with us. And
Is this Agron?
Yes, her wife, her husband.
Her husband.
And he gathers all of the Illyrian provinces together and basically says, we need to form one empire. Because you've got Greece on the other side of them down there at number 8, and then you got Rome on the other side of them. So they're sandwiched between 2 great empires. So they decide that their best thing to do is basically just to create war in between those 2 empires in the Adriatic Sea. So they spend a bunch of time, or probably over 3 or 4 years, just sinking ships out of their I forget how to pronounce their ship. The ILlyria, you know what I'm talking about? The Limbos?
Yeah. You're talking about the big-nosed ramming ships that the Greeks used.
So they spend so much time doing that eventually the merchants go, hey, Greece, you want to do anything? And Greece said, nah, not really. And so finally they went before the Roman Senate and begged and pleaded. And Rome decided to send 2, what are they called?
Emissaries?
Thank you. 2 emissaries to ILlyria to say, you know what? What do y'all want to stop this? And this is where we enter the great story of Queen Teuta.
Teuta?
Teuta.
Teuta? None of that?
Teuta.
Way to set the tone.
Thank you.
Well, sadly, the king dies.
Oh, Agron.
Yeah. What a cool name.
Agron.
A lot of these Roman names
Hail
are
King
awesome.
Agron. But he wasn't
King
Roman,
Agron,
though.
though.
was he?
Mediterranean.
No, he was Illyrian.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like, it's Albanian now, right?
It is
What would
Albania,
be?
yes.
Because I knew someone named Agron. And that's
Did you
how
really?
I knew someone, yeah.
That's
How
so
cool
But-
is that? What are you named after? A great king of Albania,
I know.
of Illyria.
I'm named after my uncle. He was crazy.
Yeah.
Never saw him again. Fell in a creek.
Was your Uncle Eddie from
Yeah, that's right.
Vacation?
It's pretty much it. Named after Uncle Eddie. Her husband had built a reputation of dominating the sea there.
The Adriatic.
Ah, yes, the Adriatic. I almost said the Mediterranean. So
Professionals, guys, don't worry. We're just goofing.
I mean, it's the other side of it.
down the thing now, when a woman took over, a lot of the men were like, well, woman's in charge over there, so that'll be pretty easy. We can just kind of do whatever we want. And they found out really quick that when they decided to push the issue onto their land, she declared it was a right for all of her people to become pirates and raid the seas and no foreign state would ever tell her otherwise. So she gave rights for everyone to be a pirate and attack Greek and Roman merchant ship. Actually, any ship that was in there that wasn't a part of their clan, they were allowed to attack and keep the spoils for themselves. And look at you guys. Thank you so much. Rachel Hill gifted a membership, and Jake gave gave us a total of 30 something.
2.
No, this gave us 35.
37.
37.
Oh, Captain,
Sorry.
my Captain.
So, can we pull the map back up really quick?
Aye.
In honor
I
of
have
that.
now hold on. Now, before we pull up King's map, will this map work better, or do you like the Captain's map? Let me just, because I had a map ready too, but I don't know. Wait, that's the Captain's map? Hold on.
That's mine.
Here is professional streamer. There's mine. I don't know if that one's better.
Yeah, that totally works.
All right, sorry, Captain.
The only thing I don't see is where the Peloponnesian bastards.
Well, this is where the
Macedonian
Queen's
Thracians.
territory was up here.
Yeah.
She had all this.
Yeah, I was looking for the Peloponnesians. Anyways, I guess it doesn't matter. So to set the scene, what are we in? It's 229. Agron dies. So right now,
230 years before Christ was born.
Correct. So we see Rome rising to power. We see Greece at the time, Thessaly, all that area rising to power. There's Sparta down there, my favorite.
Ah.
And when the king dies, you now have this storm of city states gathering together with the Illyrians that want to flex their own muscle and say, we won't be pushed around by the Romans. We won't be pushed around by the Greeks. We're our own city state. They have an abundant and very strong trade system from all the natural resources that the Illyrians have in the time. Profitable trade through Rome and Greece as well, though tense as it was at the time. And eventually, through all of that naval power, they begin to harass the Romans. And like you said, eventually they send the emissaries. And Queen Teuta essentially winds up in this power vacuum when her husband dies.
Yeah.
You've got all of these generals. You've got all of these, I guess you wouldn't call them governors. They're not senators either. These politicians that are saying, why would we follow a woman? Why would we ever follow a woman? We don't want to follow a woman. And that's why I said earlier, you don't need to Hollywood this up at all. She was against all odds to remain in power, but she stayed in power through strength. And so she essentially she said, make Illyria great again. Illyria first. That's what she was about.
Yeah. She actively pursued the expansion of the Adriatic. Yeah, that's how it's pronounced. Adriatic Sea. And under her rule, Illyrian piracy flourished. Piracy was not only common, but also a state-sanctioned economic activity in Illyria, and Illyrian ships known for their speed and skilled sailors targeted merchant vessels, including Roman ones, causing significant disruptions to the trade routes. So she was causing a ruckus. She didn't care. She wasn't being quiet.
She would make people pay in order to travel through the Adriatic, so their ships would catch up. You got to pay homage to Illyria, baby. We run this joint. And the Romans eventually just get fed up. What do you want? Stop.
Well, before that, the story was told that Rome was expanding their trade routes, and they weren't thrilled about having their merchant ships looted constantly by the pirates that she commissioned. So they sent envoys to politely ask her to, like you said, hey, can you just stop for a second here? Like, we're trying to get stuff back to our country here. Like, do you mind? Like, we're Rome. You don't mess with us.
Yeah.
Well, we'll forgive you. You lost your husband. I see you're a little angry. All right, but can you just cut it out? Well, she took 2 of the Roman envoys and she murdered everyone on the ship and stole the ship. Then she took the second one and imprisoned all of them. And Rome said, well, I think that's an act of war. Like, how dare you do that? That's an act of war.
Phoenician ship that you're talking about, or is that something else? I may have jumped ahead.
No, this was like the first go
no, that wasn't a ship. That was a city. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
The Phoenicians.
When Rome says this is an act of war, she responded, your rules don't apply here. Like, I don't care. Just call it whatever you want. Call it
Yeah.
Billy, whatever. Your rules don't apply here.
Non sequitur.
So don't come around here.
This is like it's like the beginning of that. It's like the beginning of the 300 movie, basically.
Yeah.
They were like, dude,
It's yes, very much that.
we don't care, bro. And then they send a messenger and they kill the messenger, and they're like, we don't care. We don't care.
Yeah.
And Rome is, at the tail end of a very, very taxing era and is in a rebuild. But you got to remember, this is
It's
Rome.
Rome. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Uh,
probably not wise, I would say, but bold. Absolutely bold.
Yep. Let's see. Okay. So the increase in piracy under her reign eventually provoked the Roman Republic. Roman merchants complained, and diplomatic envoys were sent to ILlyria. According to historical accounts, Teuta's dismissive response to the Roman demands and potentially the murder of a Roman envoy led to Rome declaring war in 229 BCE. Her forces achieved some successes. That's where I jumped ahead. Sorry, with the capturing cities. Like, what was it? Oh, Phoenicia. Okay, I had to look. I forgot to pronounce that. In Epirus, however, the Romans launched a major punitive expedition across the Adriatic, deploying a significant fleet and army.
Yeah, two bad blankers, and I can never remember their names. Helicus, Quartus, Megarius, Didarius, Begridibris, and Philicus, Megarius, Bebratus, Didarius. Yeah, they came in and they absolutely decisive victories
Easy.
in both naval battles, and then also when they actually get to Illyria, immediately surround the capital.
Now,
So-
before we continue, I want to pull this picture back up again. Can somebody give us like a? Let me blow this up just a tad. Whoops! Like, look at the ships here. That's pretty accurate as to what they probably were sailing. These ramming vessels are no. That's just completely AI gibberish.
So if you look at this, this is a drawing of what
Perfect.
the
Yeah, like the bottom
limbo
half
looked
of
like.
the
Oh.
bow looks right. The top half did not.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
the way
A cool looking
the way
ship.
their combat would work is, especially on the Illyrian limba, is they'd have 100 men on each ship. And isn't it funny how 100 follows like naval tradition? There's so many ships that that it's just like you get 100 people on there, you got it. So you'd have 50 people, 20, I think it was depending on the size of the ship, you'd have 50 people rowing. You have 25 people on top and 25 people below, so that you could row in different levels of the ship. And then you'd have 50 soldiers on board whose sole job was that the second that ship rams into the other ship, jump overboard and kill everyone on board.
There
So
were
it was
archers
all
as well.
speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, it was a huge
Huge
emphasis on
speed.
speed.
So
Not so much through the
this-
wind, though.
So compare this ship to, let's go like the more popular tales, like the Golden Age. These ships, if they went up against a man of war,
Gone.
in the Golden Age,
Oh, they would have been obliterated.
this ship,
Oh,
Absolutely.
dude. Yeah,
Absolutely.
in the
Out of
heartbeat.
the water.
really,
not even
so
make
even though
contact.
this is faster and can maneuver quickly, and does have some ramming capability, still not even close.
It's
You-
sort of like the idea of, if you can, I'm sure a lot of people have heard the thing about, if you're inside 21 feet is the reaction time for someone to draw, cock their gun, and shoot. That's sort of like this. Unless this ship were to pop up going 100 miles an hour out of the fog 10 feet from the man of war, this thing's blown out of the water.
Also, like ramming it would do absolutely nothing because that man of war has got double oak hull.
Well, that's why they went away from this. That's why they moved away from this design, is what you're
This
saying.
Yeah, 'cause
is
range
very much a
became a
closed
huge thing.
sea. Yeah, this is a closed sea combat vessel. So like it makes sense in the Adriatic. If you put it out in the middle of the Atlantic, these dudes are getting rocked.
I mean, they
Gotcha,
might not
gotcha.
even make it to the boat. They might just sink in the
Right.
rough waves.
Reason
that-
being,
that-
even
that,
like if they're just very narrow, that's like what it was.
So the water line is probably just above that or just below that bottom yellow line. That's probably the water line of this ship. So they're not that high above the water. They were genuinely just troop transports, because
It would be hard to hit
job
with
was
cannonballs,
get-
though, if you think about it. It'd be
That's
it'd
what
be
I'm
tough to
saying.
hit.
Like the Man of Wars were like, if the Man of War doesn't line up perfectly, I feel like this thing could move out of the way like faster. Like I don't know if this could. I don't even know if it could be caught if they were chasing.
Well, here's the other thing you got to think about. So
But you're
they have,
right. Like it wouldn't survive in big ocean water. So that's
right.
that's
and they
the
have
key.
rowers, but it's also a single mast ship.
Gotcha.
You've got a mainsail, and that's it. And your rudder is a dude holding a thing out of the back of it, like you're in the Venice canals.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I'm like, are they just, man, that'd have been tiring.
Plus, their firepower is
Bows.
Bows and arrows, maybe some ballista, but that probably depends on
Maybe that's a stretch.
that depends on like when in the like maybe in 30 BC are there ballista?
Bro,
on
listen
their
to
ships?
this. I'm not arguing. I believe you. I'm just like, you see this ship coming,
Mhm.
and 50 people with like flaming arrows just launch at your ship at your
It'd be problematic.
wooden
Well,
ship.
The
with
main reason I think it
ropes
could
that
actually work
burn.
is because everyone on the Man of War would still be on the ground laughing at someone trying to come at them in this ship.
Gotcha.
They also, so it depends on how in depth you want to get at it. So remember,
Yeah.
they wet the decks before combat. So flaming arrow is probably not going to do anything. If you get one that sticks in a mast and it lights a sail on fire, yeah, you got a huge problem. Absolutely huge problem. But also, flaming arrows weren't like super common. That's another thing that people don't think about, is like flaming arrows weren't actually all that common.
Well, you don't want fire on your wooden ship regardless, right?
No, absolutely
No.
not. That's like fire in a spacecraft. It's the absolute worst thing that can happen. So
We've
it'd be
seen it on
interesting.
Sea of Thieves.
It'd be really cool. Maybe there's a YouTube search about like Man of War versus, Peloponnesian warship or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a History of Pirates channel could have that.
That would be cool, actually. It could be a what if. That could be a what if video.
I'll take the Man of War.
Jay, my muse. I think it could be cool.
I think that would be
Regardless,
awesome.
these things are cool. I mean, they're totally badass. They're a really cool ship. They were beautiful. They were absolute ramming powerhouses for sure. But apples to oranges.
In the golden age of piracy, they made grenades and stuff like that too. So just kind
Check
of
out
like,
my short on glass
what
bombs.
you saw in the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. They had little bombs, that they lit on fire. As well.
Fire bombs
I'm
were not
sure about
common.
In this, in this era of fighting, it was spears, swords, and arrows, and fire probably. And I'm not sure. I did read like in some of the Roman history. Again, I studied stupid stuff that I thought was so fascinating that nobody cares about. Like,
It is fascinating.
how did they get the running water under the city? And like, basically, I was taught if the dirty water and the hot and cold settled underneath the city, it caused they could have been one of the reasons why they had a black plague, because of all the infection of the stale water that just brought in all kinds of disease. And it took one guy to go down there and drink it, get sick, and then spread it to everybody. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff I was reading. Like,
They
but
also
again,
lined
like,
their aqueducts with lead and went mad off of lead poisoning.
It's probably, well, it was mostly stone, but it was filthy. So but anyway, the one thing that I did read is that the Romans and the Greeks experimented in weird poisons and weird gas, that if they could get that out, like acid stuff that they could use on their enemies. So they even put like poison on darts and stuff. like back in the day that cause all kinds of sickness and like
Chemical warfare.
lockjaw, stuff like that.
Mhm.
They
Tetanus,
took like poisons from scorpions and like all kinds of like centipedes and stuff to try to see if they could work it on their enemy.
Ugh.
Crazy stuff. Like, we need another test subject. Go get Billy. He ain't doing nothing.
No. What we have today,
Man,
my lord?
what do you have for Billy?
That's just my name for the poor schlep that's gonna get.
Yeah.
That's just my name.
Pays a couple denarii a day,
Yeah,
fresh
I
bread.
know.
So, Jay, will you share this real quick? I think it's important to kind of see
Sure.
what the Illyrian side of the Adriatic looked like.
My money is
So-
on the man of war. That's probably exactly where it needs to be, honestly.
Mm.
But I like the conversation.
So the Roman ships and Greek ships, basically everyone's ships, would sail along this coastline, and the pirate ships would hide behind all of these little pieces of this archipelago and just take them out. So that it really did become a huge problem because there was no safer way to get there.
Yep.
No. All right, so back to the story. Right now she's, feeling overwhelming pressure from the Roman army. And then she's reportedly betrayed by one of her key generals, Demetrius of Pharaohs, and her forces were outmatched, but she was forced to retreat and eventually surrender in 227 BCE.
Yep, in the capital.
Mm.
The one of the things that I love about Roman history is kind of like what I said earlier about how they're always invited in, but they always seem to find a way to get themselves invited in.
yes.
And what the younger of the envoys that Rome sent said is reported to have said, Queen how do you say it? Teuta?
Teuta, yeah.
Queen Teuta, the Romans have an excellent tradition, which is that the state concerns itself with punishing those who commit private wrongs and with helping those who suffer them. With the gods' help, we shall do our utmost, and that very soon, to make you reform this ancient custom of your kings. So but he's basically saying Rome is going to do whatever it can to make you give up this custom that you've been doing for 500 years.
Naturalization, baby.
Yeah.
Forced naturalization.
Yeah, the peace treaty and reduced power, the terms were pretty harsh that Rome wanted.
She basically didn't she got banished to like a little strip, and they were like, you can get on a ship, but it's got to be unarmed and you can't go past here. And so they just kind of quarantined her and then said, abdicate and give it to us.
Yep, they forced her to pay tribute, relinquish much of her territory. And it was severely restricted in terms of her naval power. She was allowed to rule over a small portion of her former kingdom, centered around the capital city of Rizan, which is modern Rizan.
Mm.
So yeah, they pretty much just took everything away and like, all right.
So this is why Rome did this. And of course, depending on what book you read.
Yeah.
Rome, they were conquering, but they didn't have like people to go, like they didn't have like governors to rule over every place that they conquered. So they made deals with the people that they conquered. For a lot of them, they're like, just pay us your taxes.
Yeah,
and
it was
let
a
you
centralized
stay in
power.
charge here. Like we're kind of in charge, but you'll be in charge. I mean, you even saw this in the Bible, like with King Herod. He was like over Israel, things like that, but it was actually Rome. So they kind of just let King Herod like run it, but he wasn't necessarily in charge, but he kind of was in charge. So that's what they did with her. They're like, well, put her over here and let her people maybe like basically if they kept the people in charge that they were fighting, they felt that it would keep them at peace. It's like, you can rule this. We won't come in. We won't mess you up, but you still got to give us 20%. It was like the mafia, right?
Yep.
So, and then if we ever go to a major war, we want your help. And if you help us win, we'll make a statue and put you in the city. How about that? So it was like one of those things, you know?
It was a gang.
Right. But if you agreed to those terms, Rome also offered you protection. And you are awful, like being a Roman citizen, the best way to describe being a Roman citizen, there was a lot of people in Rome, but not all were citizens. Being a Roman citizen, you got a month's worth of grain free. For most of the emperors did that if you were a Roman citizen. You also got special protection. You also couldn't be arrested in certain areas. It was also like having an American passport. You could go almost anywhere without a visa. So there was a lot of, you wanted to be a Roman citizen. You also were able to go into the biggest marketplace, not only sell, but buy some of the best goods in the entire world. If you didn't have that, you weren't allowed to do that stuff. You basically had to pay somebody else to do it for you until you became a Roman citizen. That's why, and I bring up the Bible, but even in the Bible, people of Israel and Bethlehem were very oppressed. They were poor. They didn't have anything because they didn't want to be Roman citizens. You have someone like Paul, who was a Roman citizen in the Bible, and he's able to travel to all these places until he got arrested. But even still, it was quite the honor to have that. Basically, your food was paid for. You can get cheap rent and live wherever you want. You get to go to the festivals for free. You didn't have to pay to get in, and you were taken care of.
You wanted to be in the club.
And Paul's citizenship was so unique because he was born a citizen.
Yeah.
That was a huge deal. That's why, if you remember the story in the Bible, that's why the centurion is so scared when he says,
yeah, they didn't want to condone him to death because they, like I said, it came with privileges.
Oh, yeah.
That's scary.
Jay's half sand crane son
becomes
a member.
That's that protected bird that's really annoying in Florida.
Yeah, you're gonna hate it when you come to Florida.
Oh yeah, they will square up. Careful.
And meet that bird.
We've got ospreys that are protected here.
It's pretty wild. Here is a sketch of the Queen ordering the Romans to be executed. That's the other thing too. It's really weird. Like, this lady plundered millions of dollars of goods and money from Rome, had no mercy when it came to Rome or Greek, killed most of them, didn't keep prisoners, and yet they still were like, hey, you still want to lead? You know, we'll keep you alive. Just go over here and we'll call you if we need you.
I think that's the most surprising thing to me, is that she didn't essentially wind up, with a pike on her head in front of the gates in Rome. But I think there's a mutual respect that Rome tried to have, as opposed to fighting the Gauls or, whatever, where it was a sovereign state and they tried to respect the leader of it, and they didn't want to be the bad guy. And so they basically just exiled her and was like, if you leave, then we're going to kill you. But
they didn't want her to they didn't want an ongoing war.
Yeah.
And obviously they were getting their butt kicked for a little while. So they saw, I guess they saw the value in her army, in her military.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to keep that around. Here's another picture from this Queen of the Pirates that just
want to create a rebellion.
They also I think we might have skipped this part. She also took over a Greek port. It was run by the Greeks. That was her biggest accomplishment, because then she was really able to confuse and mess up the trade routes as far as the merchant ships go. She was very profitable when it came to that, and she just wanted to control the port until there's always somebody that screws it up. They get betrayed, that's Rome, So everybody gets betrayed in Rome. Everybody's it was just a thing to do in Rome. It was just a thing to do in Rome to betray one another, betray your queen, betray your king, betray your Caesar. E2 Brute.
Loyalty.
What does he say? Loyalty is no longer the currency of the day. Currency is the currency of the day.
I can see where you're coming from, King. So this is a better picture where they rammed the ship and set it on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like I see a Thieves gameplay.
And then you've got people that are in weighted armor. So if they go overboard,
yeah, you're in trouble.
They're going down with the ship really quick.
Yeah, that would suck.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, brother?
He's like, let's
Hey.
get her in book 2. Hey, man, we got to get
Yeah.
book 1 done.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Please.
Jay, will you share my screen real quick?
Again with the maps.
So, well,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's
so
history.
I want to get the order correct. So Isa is the right here. This is where my map. No, sorry, you can see Isa. That's what the port that she took over, completely demolished, stole everything, and left. And then Pharos is where, or sorry, Corsica or Corsaira, some of that is where she took over the Greek outpost.
Yeah, that's
And
the one.
from there, that after that is when the merchants in Corsaira went to Rome to beg for help. And then Rhizon is where she was defeated. All of that within a year, less than a year, I believe. And I think what's so, this isn't today. This isn't like, it'll take a week to do this. It probably takes a month at least to get from Isa to Rome. You're going to sit there and cry and beg in Rome for probably another month. Like this would have taken a long time.
Yeah.
It says, according to this report, that she was 6 years into her reign of just robbing. And it's just like, you're right. It's not like we could call someone and say, hey, man, I need a little help down here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
yeah, this all happens
in 3 years.
this all happens from the span of what, 231 to 227.
So Rome gets involved in 229.
Yeah,
and defeats her,
and within 2 years she's done.
Yeah, so she's no longer a Roman problem. That same year, the same year Rome gets involved, they pretty much wipe the floor with her, and then they no longer have to really worry.
Well, they said here that Romans sent over 20,000 men and one of their largest naval fleet because they're like, we gotta let's just send we're not doing anything here. Just send the whole caboose party and let's just show that and let's get this over with.
So 20,000 men, and you can fit 100 on each ship, and not everyone's a soldier. That's if every single one of them was a soldier, that's 200 ships.
Yeah,
can you imagine seeing 200 Roman ships on the horizon in the morning?
I'm not one to plug another channel, but there's another channel that I can't remember the name of it that talks about like the true size of a Roman legion.
Yeah. And
a Roman legion fighting size is 4,000 to 6,000 people.
Yeah.
So this is 3 to 4 legions, but that is almost 15,000 people in a legion because it includes not only soldiers and centurions, it includes the slaves, it includes the aides. And for every single 6 soldiers, you had 1 slave whose job was to basically fetch and carry. Like we're talking thousands, probably 100,000 people involved in this campaign.
Wow.
It says that and Wicked was right. If you missed it, the queen rallied, but what happened was her top general,
Demetrius,
he was like, man, we ain't gonna beat these people. Hey,
yes.
Rome. I got you, man.
Now.
Like you talk to me, man. I got you. So he saw what was coming. The queen rallied her troops. She was going to fight to the end. She was betrayed by her top general.
She's like, "Can I get a green card?"
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
trying to go to Rome.
A lot of man, that happened a lot. And like I said, Rome just a constant. It is like a Game of Thrones series. Like it's just constant switching of power, switching of people.
Yep.
Marcus Aurelius' son, Commodus, right?
Commodus.
The real story of Commodus, not the one in Gladiator, is so much better.
I just hate Commodus just because of Gladiator.
But he was awesome. Like his sister tried to kill him. The sister that like was sleeping with the Gladiator, like, was sleeping. She was actually the worst one. She tried to poison him twice, so he finally sent her away to some beautiful paradise. He's like, "You're gonna live here and never show your face again. You try to kill me and take my throne." Then, like, he wakes up and he goes, I don't want her living no more. Go send some assassins and just like cut her to pieces. Cuts her to pieces. And his true crime, Commodus's crime, everybody loved him because his dad before him was a conqueror and had all this stuff. And his dad is the one that set up like free wheat, free fruits for all Roman citizens, like less tax. It was awesome. So he had it made for like a few years. And it was the Senate. Instead of going to Senate meetings because he was bored, he started the games like kind of like what you see in the movie. He didn't want to go to Senate meetings, so he assigned his top slave to be a spokesperson. The senators were appalled, so they were like, "We're going to ruin this guy." And the first thing that they do is they hire a private army to stop the grain from coming in from Egypt. And now the people were hungry, so Commodus didn't know what to do. So he started pushing more games to show like he was like, "Hey, we're here." So he had to figure out how to get grain. He figured out the plot, ended up killing 3 of the senators, got the grain flowing back in, then decided to pay off certain gladiators to die at his hand in front of the people to calm the people down. A gladiator trainer hears about this and was like, "That's so disrespectful, man. If you're going to go out there and fight, you got to fight like a man," and murders him in his bedroom. That's like the real. I'm like, that's a freaking awesome story. Like, what do we have? Like, now we have like the Commodus that's like, man. I mean, what the heck? Anyway.
That should have been Gladiator proper.
Yeah.
Sorry. I can get going. I should have started a Rome channel. I'm not. No more channels for me. I'm done.
Yes,
Jay,
like 20 channels.
Have you listened to the History of Rome podcast that Mike Duncan did?
No.
Highly recommend it. It's like 200 episodes. They're probably 22 minutes each, and it goes all the way from the start of the Latin League all the way to the fall of the Byzantine Empire.
Okay.
So I always like a good podcast. Well, after the queen was given, after she was, go ahead, Wicked. Sorry.
No, I'm just gonna get back to it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So after the queen, they gave her a small domain after she surrendered. But then they made the traitor. What did they do to the traitor? Hold on. It didn't end well for
Demetrius?
that traitor. Yes.
Betrayal. Let's see. So what he did was he handed over the strategically important island of Korka, modern Corfu, providing valuable intelligence. The Romans rewarded him with a He didn't say he got rewarded. The Romans rewarded him with a governorship. Though he later also fell out with Rome. And that's all it says in my notes there. So falling out with Rome could mean that he just got exiled or he got killed. I don't know.
Well, what's wild about her story is that eventually she figured out like that he was rewarded. So she's like, "I'm not going down like that." So she left her palace, climbed to the top of a nearby mountain, placed a curse on her city.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just jumped off the mountain to her death.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, that's debated because some accounts suggest she did that and others said she lived in exile, but she left a lasting mark on history, that's for sure.
Yeah.
She's remembered as a strong, defiant queen who challenged, like I was talking about earlier, it's crazy. This was hundreds of years ago, and women were doing stuff like this. And then you look at like the 1950s and 60s, and they were like doing housewife stuff. But like this girl, this lady is running an empire and taking on Rome and fleets of ships. It's just crazy. History is wild.
Well, what happened was like the betrayer, the general, they were asked to send an assassin to kill her while she was ruling over.
Mhm.
And that's the story. And when she caught the assassin, she was just like, man, they lied to me, man. These people lied to me. She climbed. That's what one of the stories is. She climbed to the top of a mountain, middle fingers in the air. She didn't care. Cursed the city and hoped that, and just jumped to her death.
But she's still, even if
So
she did that, they still love her. She's on like the
I
Albanian
know.
coin, right? Like the dollar,
Mhm.
like it's similar to our dollar bill. I should see if we can find a picture of that.
I got one right
You got
here.
one? Okay.
Yeah. This
She's
is a
on their
picture of
their dollar bill.
She was on the money. There it is.
That's cool. I want one of those.
Yeah.
I would love one. I mean, she's my ancestor. I
You
would like one.
might Wicked if you could probably go to probably somewhere there in Florida, like
Like
Port
eBay.
Entry or
Like
eBay.
eBay.
Yeah. I was trying to be a little more
I'm looking
official,
it up
but
right now.
definitely you can find one on eBay.
I would.
That's cool.
Yeah, I see it on. It's probably expensive.
Did you hear about her bitter end, X-Wing, or did you miss that
Her
part?
bitter end? No, she. So far as I remember, she lived out the rest of her life.
I found one.
Okay, you got the other story.
Sorry.
That's the story that I got too. That she just kind of disappears and doesn't really.
Yeah, she
pop back
apologized
up.
for everything and just kind of disappeared into the mountains, right?
Now, come on, man. Does she sound like a woman that's going to apologize for anything?
She got slapped down pretty
So
hard.
the person that betrayed her convinced Rome to send an assassin to kill her. She was able to stop the assassin, and she's just like, man, I'm tired. I'm going to do something.
I'm going to the cliff.
She went to the top of the mountain and put a curse over the land that no one would be able to build like a boat and that they would all die in fire. And then she jumps off the mountain to her death as a martyr.
That's cooler.
Well, listen, you got to understand. We could tell that story now and be like, wow, that's crazy. Why would she do that? In the time of Rome, death was like, it was like a door to the next life. It's like, it was very much, they didn't look at death the way we look at it today. People were killed all the time.
Were they worshippers of Zeus?
I mean, that was Greek, so
Right, but I mean, Jupiter was same thing, but it was Rome. I mean, they're in between.
It was probably Greek if they were on that side of the Adriatic.
But it was like death. There was so basically like they had a platoon of soldiers. This is like studying this stuff makes you go, what the heck? But then they had soldiers, and it's like we got to get to Pompeii in like 3 hours, and they made it in 3.5. They're like, all right, everybody count to 7. Whoever got number 3, step forward. We're gonna kill you. Yeah, it's like that's your punishment, but you died a Roman soldier. So you
go to Elysium.
Yeah, you went to a special place where you lived out your life with all your women and all that stuff. But still, it's like, imagine 16 years old, Mom, I joined the army. Oh, have fun. First day, they're late to their post. All right, everyone who got number 3, step forward. Oh, that's me. It's my first day here. Off you go.
What happened to Billy? He didn't make it.
Exactly. He goes back to mom.
Billy,
like,
man.
He died an honorable death.
Yeah.
He died an honorable death. But
for the
it's
glory of Rome.
That's how death was looked at. Like everybody died all the time. They had gladiators and stuff. They fought to the death. Everything was just like
life was cheap.
And real quick, not to change the subject, but I see you, Mystic Girl, in the chat. She said, could use some prayers. My job keeps cutting my hours along with those who have worked just as long as I have and giving the hours to new people they've hired.
Gross.
Yeah, man, that's rough. I really hope that you find something that that you're looking for. I've applied to a few places, but nothing has happened yet. I'm really you didn't bring the mood down. Thanks. We'll definitely pray for you, and I hope something,
you keep praying too.
You find the best, the best place where you're supposed to be. That's all. And I'm sure there's other people in the chat that'll do the same. So we appreciate you around here. But yeah, that was Rome. And also most of these people probably weren't even 30 years old.
Life expectancy was 20 to 25.
Yeah.
So it looks like there were 2 major religions in I'm going to say it wrong. ILlyria.
ILlyria.
The cult of the serpent, where they worshipped a serpent, and the cult of the sun, where they, you guessed it, worship the sun. So I asked that because that's the kind of thing that kind of, Rome fought for not only Rome, but for the idea that they will, as X-Men say, make it to Elysium. The Vikings fought to get to Valhalla. The Greeks fought to get to whatever their version of Elysium was. But that's the sort of thing, like the Roman lay says, how can man die better than fighting for the ashes of his fathers and the temples of his gods? Like, it gives you something to fight for. And knowing that the religion not only is split between the two, but it's also the cult of the sun is one of the early examples of the original version of the swastika.
Interesting.
Yeah. Didn't know that 20 minutes ago.
Even though Rome actually beat her, she has become a folk hero in Albania.
Yeah. KFF Teuta is the Albanian women's football club.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
that
it's
coin.
lived on that long.
Yeah, Teuta is the Albanian basketball team, football club, and women's football club.
She has a lot of statues, songs, and even retelling of the ancient power. And she wasn't really queen that long, about 6 years.
And she was actually, if we're gonna be, real, she was the queen regent because her stepson was only 2 when the king died.
100%, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And she still, she took charge.
Bram Stoker wrote about her in 1909, The Lady of the Shroud.
Wow.
Why the heck have I never even heard about this woman until just like
I know.
ago? Like, what the heck?
So I had seen the summary that said her story is a powerful reminder of the complex and often brutal political landscape of the ancient Mediterranean and how a determined leader, even facing overwhelming odds, could leave a lasting imprint on history. I can't believe none of us heard of her. She's one of the more, I don't know. She's definitely a badass.
The extremely simple way of proving that she's a badass. 20,000 soldiers.
Yes.
2,000 cavalry. That's it. The millions of whatever their money was to move that sheer amount. That in itself is a victory.
Yes.
Yes.
If that's how they looked at her.
The question that I would pose to an historian would be, without her, is Rome prepared for the second war against Carthage? Like less than a decade later. I think it's 8 years later they go to war with Carthage for the second time.
Do you guys want to hear what
that's Scipio Africanus and Hannibal?
you guys want to hear what Illyrian sounds like?
Are we ready?
Yeah. This is too cool.
Can't hear a thing.
Really?
I hear it.
Do I need to crank this up more? It's all the way
I
up.
would. There you go.
How cool is that?
I don't think Jake can hear his face. Sorry.
I just turn the
Oh, you had to turn your up. Okay.
low, but I can hear fine. Yeah, it was kind of low.
It was low. Yeah. It's cool. I like it.
It almost sounded like Welsh. That was weird.
A little bit.
Very
It
common
sounded
Albanian name now.
Yeah, look, I can't hear it either. A mix of Russian and Italian.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see that actually. Yeah. I hear that in it.
I'm trying to think, like, that's what she would speak.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they spoke in Rome was they spoke Greek and when Rome took over Greek had probably the biggest influence on all of Rome.
Yeah, I mean, they had their religion, their
Yeah.
you could argue they had their government, but Rome was already a democracy when before they took over the
Rome was Latin.
Iberian
Yeah.
Peninsula.
Right. But I'm saying like Greek was like a big influence in there because usually you had to speak 2 or 3 languages.
Yeah.
You know, to like survive and do stuff in Rome. But yeah. Dougie B out of nowhere with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you.
Welcome to the crew. Now get to work.
Did we already get Jay's half Sandhill Crane
Yeah.
Son new membership and Cheyenne's new membership?
Yeah.
49.
49.
What do you have there, sir?
Nearly halfway
You okay?
I
He's
just missing
falling out of
my
the chair.
sidearm.
What is that? That's that in honor of the moment. That's what 1L, right?
There you go.
Or IL.
Yep.
You use another 50.
Did I do that?
That'd be nice. But, you know.
Did I do that right? It's IL, right?
What?
Huh?
Roman numerals.
There you, I get,
Oh,
there you
Roman
go, actually.
numerals. Okay. I was a little lost.
Before
So-
minus
Okay.
I 149.
X we got it.
Yep.
Ah.
Yes.
There you go.
I found the coin. There's a couple cool little coins that I have found now.
My brain
That's
is like
nice.
trying to like remember my Roman studies, and it's like that's why like I look like I'm
It's a period of time in which I'm not very familiar, but I find it
spazzing out a little
absolutely
bit
fascinating.
because it's like so one of my professors was like every time like Rome conquered, they also adapted because they thought that was the best thing. It probably was the worst thing that they could do, honestly. They should have conquered and dominated. Like we conquered Greek, now you got to learn our language and worship our gods, but instead like Greek was like, well, we have this god. And then Rome's like, well, our God is the same thing, but a different name, and it's better than yours.
Yeah.
So, like, you have
Well,
like
and they had the
Neptune and
what's the
what's the
temple?
other guy's name? But whatever. They're basically the
Zeus?
same god.
Oh,
what
that's
is
like
the
Triton. You talking about
Not
the water?
Triton.
Poseidon?
Poseidon.
Poseidon, yeah.
Thank you.
What is what's the name of the temple in Rome with all the gods in it?
Not Olympus.
The Pantheon?
That's that.
Is it the
Yes.
Pantheon?
No. I mean,
I don't
it's
know.
just
What are we-
throwing out-
what is
throwing out a
happening?
large net there because it
What
could
are
have
we
been all
even
kinds
talking
of
about?
They also did military technology and units. Correct. But also, like, even today's train tracks are built like the Roman
Pantheon.
Pantheon.
Yeah, so the Pantheon, one of the things they would do is when they conquered, they would put up statues of those conquered groups' gods in the Pantheon.
And then when Rome turned Christian, they came in and tore them all down. They got rid of all that history.
Yep.
When I went to Greece and walked through some of like their historical areas, and they're like, yeah, this was all fine until the Christians showed up and they like set it all on fire and broke it all down. I'm like, yeah, you know, they took that thou shalt not have other gods a little like personal,
Pretty
but,
serious.
it would have been cool if they would have left it just so we could like learn from the past, you know, and like see how that actually looked. So
They weren't a huge fan of Christians, too.
It's going on in Syria right now, too.
The Parthenon's in Greece. The Pantheon is in Rome.
The Parthenon's in Greece and Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, I forgot there is one in Tennessee. That's right. Isn't it like a 1-to-1 recreation of it?
It's like picture in picture.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, Dreaded said Nero made us into candles to light his garden. Yeah, he wasn't a huge fan of Christians.
the thing is, Nero wasn't the worst Wasn't the
Big
worst
fan
one towards
of,
Christians.
Oh,
Fiddle.
really?
Oh.
Huh.
He wasn't the worst. I can't remember. I can't remember his name. It's one of those weird names. But this guy was elected. This guy that was elected to
Was
Rome
he
as
one
Caesar
of the
because they were like, "Hey, let's get back to the old ways." And he's like, "All right." So he immediately made Christianity illegal. And he's like, once he made it illegal, he's like, "We all just got to slaughter them and we'll be done with them. Like it's no big deal." So
It's one way to solve it.
they went on
Was
a
he,
giant killing
was
spree.
he
It was
one
the
of the
worst
ones-
ever, worse than Nero.
Was he one of the ones elected by the
And then he lost the
Praetorians?
election and they changed the law again. He's like, "Well, oh well."
Who is that?
Is he one of the ones elected by the Praetorian Guard?
No, it's,
Tacitus? No.
I have a whole book on him. I can't remember his name.
Decius?
It's not Caligula.
No. I'll have to find it. He wasn't Caesar long, but like people were mad that because oh my gosh, we're really off pirates here, but Rome was allowing Christians and other religions serve in the Senate, and they were always fighting for their piece of the pie. Well, if you got that God, we got this God, we got
Diocletian.
yeah. That's it.
Ah,
And so he was elected. So like, because people were like, "I'm tired of all this fighting. All right, we got enough gods. Like, what's going on here? Can we just the old days when we got free food and like we were roamed and we were respected?" So he got elected and he's like, "All right, well, first thing we got to do is get rid of the Christians." So the ones in the Senate were beheaded. And they're like, "If you're a Christian, we're coming for you. If not, just go live your life." But at the time, Christians were dying for your faith was a huge part of being a Christian. And so they stood their ground. And then when it's all said and done, Constantine, who actually became a Christian, declared Rome as a Christian nation. And there was all kinds of problems with that too.
Yeah,
So,
Diocletian was a co-emperor with Maximian, Galerius, and Constantius.
yeah, he's pretty brutal. Nero was just like deranged, psychotic.
Well, Nero's only famous because of the fire. That's the
And
only
like,
reason.
yeah, he
Nero's
burned all the knowledge in Rome, but he blamed it on the Christians. That's the thing too. It's
famous. And
like
the Jews.
so. Well, we really went on a tangent tonight, guys. Sorry about that.
Pirates, right?
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
we're starting a Rome channel now. I didn't like
No,
my
no.
family anyway.
You
Too
didn't
much.
like your-
Let's get back to the coin.
I'm gonna get one. Jeff in chat suggested I make a necklace out of it. I'll do that.
That would be
It
cool.
kind of looks like a Athena statue, doesn't it?
Does I'm gonna get one. I'll order
And
it.
we
I
all
found
agree
it.
this pirate queen right here does not look like Wicked. She looks a little frumpy here, but
So this is the article or the source that I wish I had read because I love the language in this one.
oh yeah, all his stuff is pretty brutal.
This
Very
is
colorful.
right. This is like my level of language. Let's go.
The thing is, like, you see these like, actual old paintings of like that's how they like collected their history,
Mhm.
and everybody looks old, but they probably weren't.
They're like 19 probably.
Yeah, they're all in their early 20s.
Well, it's kind of like how I'm sure this is something we've all noticed is the older we get, the younger people look. Like
Yes.
I mean, you go to a baseball game.
That's true.
And see people. I go to USC games all the time, and I see college students and high school students that they look older than I looked when I was in high school and college.
Anyway,
Like, it's just
pirates.
crazy.
This was an army. I'm trying to wrap. We're almost at the 1:30 mark. This is what looks like what they wore from a sketch. Everything was pretty basic.
I can see
Roman.
X-Wing dressing like that.
I
Style.
would do it
100%.
in a heartbeat.
100%.
But what happened with the guy that got so drunk that his lungs exploded?
Well,
King Agron
That's a way
got
to
so
go.
drunk that his lungs exploded.
her husband.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
it was a rager party.
Yeah, I've never gotten that hard. Lungs intact.
Your lungs can explode from drinking.
I think he's being tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was the king, right?
Let's say.
Or is
King
that the
Agron.
queen?
I see some bobas.
I see a little bit of.
There's
That
some
looks a little
bobas.
feminine.
Yeah.
That might be
The head is masculine, but the body's feminine.
But there's that look.
First
That's the
transgender.
look where we're gonna kill you. You have no power here. When Rome showed up and like, can you stop raiding our ships?
Your god has no dominion here.
Yeah.
See, yeah, this was the first FAFO.
Doug B with $10 coming soon. Historia. No, man. I'm no more channels for me. I'm about to retire.
Status Populusque Romanus.
If the Pirate
SPQR.
Channel hit 10,000 subs in a year, man, like we did something wrong, but we're really trying. But if you're new here, coming maybe in a month.
Gosh, that's cool.
Mihi. Vindicta. Ego. Retribua.
His words ring like bells in my head. I lost everything.
In the name of the king, stop!
So, I will take from them everything.
What's crazy is that teaser is freaking awesome, but it literally, all the teasers that we've said, it literally tells this much of what is actually going on in the story. It's so
If that
cool.
much. If that much.
Yeah.
You have any idea how hard it is throwing people off the scent?
I know, man. I know. I can't imagine. That's why you're so good at it. That's all I'm
So
saying.
what really happens is
Do you
I'm
want to
just saying,
die?
if we can keep the promotion like
Yeah.
that, people when they read the story, their face is gonna melt off. That's what I'm like. That's what I'm hoping for. Melted faces. I'm hoping that
Yeah.
people read the story and go out and get the tattoo.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Or say two.
where I'm at.
Give us two.
Yeah. Or you're like, we'll sell enough copies that we'll finish the whole story.
We got a long way to go. We got a very long way to go with Jonathan.
That's about it.
That's it.
That's about
Yeah.
it. I don't know. I know if I start talking, I'm gonna like vomit everything.
Also,
Eric's in the chat. Our artist says if we hit a $500,000 goal, he will get the tattoo.
Wow.
there
So
you
you
go.
know.
Also, if you haven't already, please do go to the website. We're drumming up the first drafts of the emails that are going to go out for our early supporters. So please make sure you get over to daughtersrevenge.com. Make sure that you're signed up for the early release news, because you guys are going to be the first one to know, and
Yeah.
it lets us know who's interested. So get over there.
And then the second ones will be the members of the channel.
Yep.
So, you know, Doug B says, whatever happened to that Kings fella? Oh, he spoiled Daughter's Revenge on a live stream once. So, yeah.
Bootstraps.
Gone.
Bootstraps.
Look at that. It's
they
gonna
invited me
be,
to Orlando just to drown me.
it's gonna be awesome. Anyway,
You want to go
that's our-
deep sea fishing, Kings?
Walk the plank.
hopefully, if it all works out, we will be in St. Augustine for the official launch. It might launch a week or so before, but we all get together for the official launch in St. Augustine. Hopefully, we'll be able to work all that out. It's going to be awesome. Hope you guys get every single cover, every flag, and I'm not going to say anything else because surprises around the corner, like all kinds of surprises. So there you have it. We got tumblers, we got coins, we got. That's it for the show, everyone.
That flag would fit perfectly right here.
I think it would.
I think it will. I think it would be awesome. So, from all of us at the Pirate Crew, thank you for another History of Pirates. So awesome to see you guys here. Really appreciate it. And anybody have a final announcement before we go?
Nothing I can spill yet. I'm doing my best not to get in trouble because I just want to tell everybody everything.
I know. I can't wait for the spoiler stream. That will be.
Yeah.
We might invite a bunch of people on too to like spoiler stream. You know. Is Cameron Cross a descendant of Donna's Revenge character? No.
Oh, what?
Two separate worlds.
Yeah.
Two
I
separate
can't wait
worlds.
for that crossover comic.
Yeah. He'll have a hallucinate. That'll probably what happened.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, but you guys have a great night. That's it. We'll catch you on the next one.
On the airwaves we sail, with stories we prevail. The history of pirates.
Hold on.
Missing Icanalus?
Sorry,
Head
Wicked.
off.
An hour ago while y'all were talking, I packed all the fleet's cheese in a dinghy and rode off.
Not the cheese. Grommet.
So long, suckers. Well, that's not very nice.
On the airwaves we sail, with stories we prevail. The history of pirates, our anchors never fail. Mysteries unfold, treasure maps of gold, voices of the Buccaneer soul.
Thank you for being a first mate and listening to the Patches and Rum podcast. Now get back to your station or I'll send you to Davy Jones' locker.